Cannabis Common Sense, the show that tells the truth about marijuana and the politics behind its prohibition.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Cannabis Common Sense. Our show is a production of our nonprofit organization, THCF, or the Hemp and Cannabis Foundation, and our affiliated political committee, the Campaign for the Restoration and Regulation of Hemp, or CRRH. We have another great show for you tonight. Mr. Tim Pate is here to provide music. How are you doing, Tim?
I am doing fine. How are you, Paul?
Pretty well, pretty darn well. All over the Thanksgiving feast and ready to talk about hemp and ending adult marijuana prohibition. So we've got some film clips we'll be rolling in just a little bit, but to buy a few crucial seconds, let's bring out our infamous Dancing Cannabis Leaves.
Feel the force.
And here is Tim Pate. Welcome, Tim.
Thank you, Paul. And happy Thanksgiving to you and all your family.
Thanks. Yeah, we had a pretty good one.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's it's one of those traditional get to sit and eat kind of things.
Yeah.
And that's a
Well,
nice
we're
thing.
glad to have you back. I know you had a dental problem that kept you out last week.
I had to have surgery on my jaw last week, so I really deeply appreciated John Cornette coming in and taking my place and playing some nice music I hear. And so it was we were going to do something together, and I called him at the last minute and said, "John, please, can you take my place?" And trooper that he is, he was able to do that. So, thank you, John. And also understand that he got to sit in and have a little discussion about his trip to China and some other things that he's involved with. So, very interesting person. So I was glad he was here. Yeah. Yeah, let's play a little music and watch a few buds. How about that?
All right. Welcome, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you for indulging me, folks.
Certainly. So we are taking your phone calls tonight. It is the 27th of November. That's right, isn't it? 27th, 2009. So if you're watching on Friday night, just after Thanksgiving 2009, then you can call us at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448. We'll be taking your phone calls right up to the top of the hour. And we already have a caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hi, I'm calling because my significant other has COPD and congestive heart failure and stenosis of the spine. He was diagnosed about 5 years ago. And he's never been a very big man, but in the last 5 years, he's dropped down to about 96 pounds.
Wow.
And so they've had him on a drug called Megastrol, I believe it's the name of it. Megaze is a short name for it. Anyways, it hasn't worked. It's supposed to stimulate his appetite. So we went to the heart specialist for his annual checkup, and she said they pretty much fixed his heart with the new miracle drugs that they have, the heart drugs, but they still can't figure out why he can't gain weight. Mm-hmm. Well, with the COPD, they don't like the idea of him smoking marijuana. She came up with Marinol and prescribed 10 milligrams of Marinol a day, but apparently the insurance will not cover it unless you either have it for AIDS or a cancer patient.
I see. Yeah, Marinol's very expensive.
Yeah, $966 for
a month
30
for
of them.
one a day, right?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, is there some other form or some other way for somebody in his, position to be able to get the use of the marijuana?
Definitely. There are a number of different ways. Even inhalation through a vaporizer, which doesn't create any smoke and wouldn't aggravate the COPD, but would, in fact, help the lungs heal and give them a big dose of antioxidants. Also, you can make foods and oils and tinctures from just about any part of the cannabis.
Okay.
And you can eat those in capsules or in tinctures and oils, foods that you make. Okay. So there's a number of different ways, and in our clinics we always teach people and give them recipes on alternatives to smoking. I used to have, from being a pretty heavy marijuana smoker for 30 years, a bad cough or bronchitis. And after vaporizing for about 3 weeks, that cough went away, and I've been vaporizing the past 7 years, and I haven't had that bad cough since I basically quit smoking.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because we're just in shock, We're just trying to figure out some way to get this kind of medication. So he would be smart to go ahead and go for his marijuana card, right?
Yeah, he could definitely try alternatives. They're going to be less expensive than the cost of the Marinol that your insurance won't cover. Of course, the insurance probably won't cover your medical marijuana costs either.
Right.
But it definitely would give you an option out there to grow cannabis and possess it and to try those different means of administration.
Okay, great. That's what I was wondering. Okay,
sure.
then.
If your doctor, first of all, I recommend you ask your doctor. There's paperwork available on the Internet through the state's medical marijuana program office. Okay. You can have them mail those to you or print them off the Internet or go to their office at 800 Northeast Oregon Street and pick those up. We also have those forms at our office if you want to pick them up at 105 Southeast 18th Avenue. Then if your doctor won't do it, then we have doctors that'd be happy to help.
Okay. Well, yep, we have no problem with the doctor saying yes to it. It's
they've already worked it.
Trying to find which way to go about getting the best use for the drug for him.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye-bye. If you have a question or comment for us tonight about ending adult marijuana prohibition, restoring industrial hemp, or helping medical marijuana patients, give us a call at 503-288-4448.
I'd really love to hear how that turns out, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Once you get him regulated on the right type of medicine, I'd love to know how that turns out, so I hope you call back once that all figures out.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to know. A lot of times you just have the phone calls come in and you never really know how things are resolved.
Follow up with us.
A lot of times people will come into the clinic and thank me, or I'll get an email or something.
Well, as you know, week after week, we've been on this show for quite a long time, you get some incredibly tragic circumstances out there, and they're always faced with the need for relief of pain or some very dire circumstance.
Right.
And it's glad to give them advice, but I'd really love to hear how some of those turned out. Because I know we hear them on the side. We get anecdotal all the time, both you and I, but I'd love to hear, so we can report to everyone else how your story comes out.
So good luck. I know that's a trying time out there.
Yeah.
There's some good news this week. We had a long-time medical marijuana patient who had suffered at the hands of the Oklahoma penal system, basically, Will Foster. was released by and paroled out of Oklahoma prison on the day before Thanksgiving. So we're happy to say he went home for Thanksgiving. He had moved to California. He'd been in prison. Initially, they arrested him for a small marijuana garden with just 5 or 6 plants, and they sentenced him to 93 years in jail. And he served about 6 of those years before, after a lot of public outrage, he was paroled. And he transferred his parole to California, where he was a medical marijuana patient. And local authorities in Sonoma County came in and arrested him. They never charged him, so they released him. But the Oklahoma authorities held that that was a violation of parole, and they called him back to prison and held him there for another year and a half. And we're happy to say that Will Foster is finally out of jail again and waiting to transfer back to California.
Hooray.
So that's a good step in the right direction. Yeah, there were a few other breakthroughs out there. Unfortunately, our computer's still malfunctioning. We haven't got our hemp news segment up, but we're going to keep trying to do that. So.
Well, I know the Cannabis Cafe has been just going whole hogs on the public relations end of it because of the fact that it's come out and it was on the front page of the local newspapers. It also hit the Reuters news agency.
The Times of London.
I was there
the BBC.
The Times of London was there reporting.
Just all kinds of different media.
Yeah, they quoted me in Reuters, so I find I'm being quoted in the Moscow News and in Paris and New Delhi, and it's like that's kind of interesting. And then this week the Associated Press came in as well, and they were involved in such an article, a feature article, that it ended up on the front cover of USA Today. Yeah, and so it's quite a deluge. I know that Madeline spent Tuesday morning at 4 in the morning on Court TV, and it's I want to wish everybody over there congratulations. Absolutely, it's been quite amazing.
Yeah, it's really pretty interesting. I went in and there one night, Saturday a week ago, and sat down. I just realized, wow, I've been vaporizing here every week after our TV show for almost a year now. Yeah. And Eric said, that it really was an outgrowth of our after television show parties. I know Madeline had been looking for a place for years back when they were meeting over at the Mount Tabor Theater there on Hawthorne. She talked to the owners there about doing something like this. Of course, they didn't want to give up their liquor license. Yeah, exactly. But Eric did. Yes. So it's interesting to see how that's turning out. Developments, huh? Yep. I'm glad to see outgrowths of various things we were already doing. But Madeline is to be praised. She put her name on the line. She's been dreaming of doing this for years, so it's interesting to see how it opened up. The way it works is, I think you pay a $20 a month fee to be a member. Which is reduced if you do an annual fee. But it's still approximately that. So you pay the $20 a month fee, and then it's $5 a day. $5 each time you'd go. Yeah, each time you go, and then the cannabis is free. I donated a little bit when I was there, and I know other people are donating cannabis. This is what I've heard from LK. He told me this evening that he's only been there one day when there was less medicine. Usually there's more medicine at the end of the day than when they begin. Each day, that people just keep bringing more in. Yeah, so I think it's an obvious. It's an offshoot of how we set up the laws here in this state. Right. We took the commercialism out of it, and so therefore there's a generosity between patients, and that is now shared on a club level, and I really like that. I'm really glad. Yeah, that's a big benefit for patients. It is. For sure. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show. Oh, maybe not. Well, we had a caller. If you have a question for us, call us at 503-288-4446. I do know that next Friday night we'll be having a benefit. Yeah. And this is a benefit for Jack Hare. Right at the same place, above the Cannabis Cafe, there at the Village Ballroom at 700 Northeast Deacom Street. That's right. And so it's going to be from 8 o'clock till, I guess, we quit playing music. Right. And there'll be a couple of groups playing. I know that Past Margot will be playing. You'll be playing? I will be. I'll be closing the evening out. I intend to have a few friends with me, and so great. We'll make some music, and there'll be some other surprises as well. So. There's an effort. So that's next Friday night, December 4th. Yes. At the Village Ballroom at 700 Northeast Deacom, right above the Cannabis Cafe.
Now, I was informed, too, just before the show that the local NORML offices have decided to contribute a sum of money that I thought was substantial for them, for this benefit, for Jack's benefit. And so also heard that the Waco, Texas NORML chapter was wanting to donate to this benefit. So we're going to see if we can't just get any chapter of the NORMLs out there who wanted to go ahead and donate to this benefit. And you can find out all about it through U.S. Bank, or you can find out through Oregon NORML. You can find out through us. There are a lot of different ways, but next Friday night we're going to see if we can't raise a little bit of money to help them out. And for those of you who don't know or are new to the show, the individual Jack Hare, who is basically the father of our movement in my mind. He's been involved with so much for all of us for such a long time, and I think that those of, he had a serious health heart attack.
Major heart attack at our Hempstock Festival back on September 12th.
It's still hard for me to say that.
I know.
It just, that didn't even come out well, but it's because it's hard for me to face it. It was, I was there. So, but anyway, he's still with us, and he is in need of some help, so we're going to see if we can help him. So, thank you for your time. I appreciate the indulgence there.
We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Yeah. Am I on now?
You are.
You're on now.
Okay. Well, I have a hemp card for marijuana through the state of Oregon, and I tried to. I used to get my medicine out of Canada, cold pressed hemp seed oil, and I can't get it anymore. They won't send it in.
Oh, I could get cold press from Hemp Oil Canada, and it's hempoilcan.com. I order hemp seed oil directly from them and hold hemp seeds, and they ship it to me. You can even get hemp seed oil at Fred Meyer and at various health food stores.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, right over the counter. They sell it right over the counter.
They quit shipping it in.
I haven't run into that problem. I ordered some hemp capsules, hemp seed oil capsules from hempoilcan.com over the summer, and I got mine in the mail, along with a big bucket of whole hemp seeds.
It's called Hemp Oil Can?
Yeah, HEMPOILCAN.com. And that's probably the largest processor in North America right now.
Okay.
They package things for a lot of different companies, so you'll find other companies have their product, but it's under their own label.
Say that again now.
HempOilCan.com.
All right, I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's Hemp Oil Canada is the actual company.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, hemp oil has all the essential amino acids and omega-3 essential fatty acids that you need for health that's usually missing in most foods that we eat nowadays. So a lot of people don't get it, and it helps your cardiovascular health and mental health, and just as a benefit for all sorts of different things.
That's smelling mighty good.
Can you smell that one over there?
I can smell that over here. I can.
I see. Well, it's not quite as large as last week's, but we have a little flower here from the THCF Medicinal Gardens. This is a Kim Dog flower. And so it's, you can smell a little more closely.
Kim Dog, huh?
Yep, Kim Dog. It's from a seed that we picked up and cultivated and took to fruition. And
if you can see it close with the light shining, you can see the crystals sparkle on it.
Yeah.
Because the crystals are just sparkling all over it.
Very, very crystally. So if you have a question for us tonight, you can call us at 503-288-4448. We have a caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Yes. How you doing tonight?
Good. Very well, thanks.
I just have a couple questions for you. I just recently got my Oregon marijuana card.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
And we're sorry. I mean, something's wrong, but, you get there.
Yeah. Now, the Cannabis Cafe, is there a charge for it to get into it?
Yes.
And how much is that?
There's several, it's kind of a multi-layer charge. It's not just one charge. It's a few charges. And this is a project of Oregon NORML, so,
You must be a member of Oregon NORML in order to be
First of all, you got to be a member of Oregon NORML, and that's $35 a year. Then you have to pay their annual fee or a monthly fee. I think the monthly fee is $20 a month or $240 a year. Is that right?
You can do it on annual and you get a reduction.
Is it reduced if you pay the annual fee? Okay.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
$20 a month.
Yeah. And then there's a daily fee of $5. So you're hit like 3 different ways there. But once you get in, then the cannabis is at no cost, and there's a wide variety of things to try there. And there's also a restaurant where you can order food, a pool table that's free to play if you can get in line and beat somebody, or at least get beaten.
That's true.
And
video games? I saw.
Are there video games now?
There were. Last time I was in there were.
I was there about like I said, almost 2 weeks ago, and there weren't any video games at that point.
Things change fast. They
do.
Now, is there any discounts, like for somebody if they're disabled?
Everybody's disabled. Understand that. We all are. We all have cards. Every one of us. So no, there isn't.
Yeah,
we're a part of that. We're a part of that group. This is our group because we're disabled. We've put it together so that we can do this together.
They
but
also have these twice a month meetings on the 2nd and the 4th Saturday of each month, right upstairs from the Cannabis Cafe, where you can get free plants and some free medicine generally, and that's in the Village Ballroom on the 2nd and 4th Saturday of each month.
Okay, and how do you get joined up with Normal? How do you get?
You can do it right at the door.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you don't have to do it in advance. You can do it at the door.
Okay, and is there any way possible, like with Normal, that it can help you find someone to grow for you?
Yeah, that's what they do. So there's growers available at those twice a month meetings. People can help patients find caregivers.
Yeah, what we do at the meetings is we'll have everybody who needs to find a caregiver stand up and raise their hand or identify themselves in some way, and then there are caregivers in that audience every time who go and find you. And so eventually that system has worked pretty well for a while now, and hopefully it'll work for you if that's what you need.
Yeah, it is. Well, in order to get my card, I had to have a grower. And I put my own address as a grower's because that's what they told me to do.
Right. Yeah, that's what you needed to do. You can change that at any time at no cost with the state. Just a matter of sending them another sheet filled out and copy your ID and your signature.
Okay. So then these Normal meetings, they're every 2nd, 4th Saturday?
That's exactly. So there'll be one tomorrow. And you want to be there at about 11 a.m. I think they close the doors and lock them up at about 11:45. And then they start giving away the medicine and having a private meeting. And
then if I show up there tomorrow, do I got to pay like a $35 fee? Is that what you're saying then?
I believe so.
Yeah, for the annual. You want to join? That's how you join.
Okay.
And we have new members come every time, so you wouldn't be alone. You're amongst friends.
That doesn't matter. I don't care about that. But what I'm wondering is, like if I come tomorrow, do I have to pay the $35 in order to go to the meeting?
Yes.
I think so. I mean,
that's how you get in.
Okay. Well, it's really hard because I collect disability, and when you only get like $800 a month to survive.
$35 is a large portion of that. I understand.
It's really hard when you only get $800 a month and you got to pay $500 out in rent.
Right. What we're trying to do is just completely legalize marijuana for everybody.
Bingo.
So you don't have to go and get a license.
Bingo.
Every adult should be able to grow marijuana. It has a lot of health benefits. They talk about the dangers of marijuana, and basically the main danger is getting arrested. If you use marijuana, you'll live longer, you'll be less likely to get cancer. There's just a whole host of benefits that go along with using cannabis, and we're happy to talk about them here on this show. But the fact is that we have a petition out there. It's just getting kicked off. You can find out more about it that would end adult marijuana prohibition and restore industrial hemp and help medical marijuana patients. And you can find out on the internet about it at OCTA2010.org. That's OCTA2010.org. I'm sorry to hear, that there are financial limitations to so many people who are disabled and who have medical marijuana cards. I would say well over half the people that have a medical permit are on a limited income. And that makes it very, very difficult. But
That's why we're fighting. I mean, if nothing else,
I don't think you should have to go and get these permits every year and pay a doctor and pay the state. So we're fighting to make it legal for all. And so that's the next step. And hopefully, if we're successful, we'll get this thing on the ballot next year, and it'll be legal in about 13 months.
Well, that would be great. You know, I find myself very fortunate because I have a doctor that has no problem signing for it. He tells me to smoke it if it helps you. Smoke it, man, you know, and she's a great doctor.
Good. That's what we need, more doctors like that.
Oh, yeah.
Recognize benefits of medicinal cannabis.
And I didn't have to pay no fees to have her sign it.
Good. Excellent.
So, but then you have to pay a fee to the state to get that card.
Yeah. Well, luckily I only had to pay $20. So.
I was going to say yours is reduced because your circumstance.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys very much.
You're welcome.
And I think you're doing a great job out there. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Right. Have a great night.
You too.
I don't want to necessarily offer that there may be scholarships available to NORML because I don't know, but there are generous people out there. I know that, and so you never can tell what might happen under certain circumstances.
It never hurts to ask for a financial discount or something in those lines. I'm really not that aware of. I know that my membership was discounted. I got a lifetime membership for no cost.
I got a lifetime membership as well because of services we both have rendered for such a long time.
So I think they will probably give severely disabled people a discount, but I can't speak for them.
Me neither.
Here on the show, but it never hurts to ask.
Exactly.
If you have a question for us tonight, just give us a call at 503-288-4448. It's 503-288-4448. So, any other things that were going on in your life the past couple weeks?
Well, it's always busy. This is a busy time of the year with trying to do some planning for China. It's been taking effort and taking wing. It looks like so.
Well, it's good having John on here last week to talk about some of his experiences in China. And
he's had a few, as you have too. You both were
mine are older.
With some of the area,
I haven't been there in a long time, but
well, we're hoping to spend some time there this next year for real. Looks like it might just happen.
Good luck on that.
Thank you. 谢谢.
Ni hao. The proper response to that one.
There you go.
Anyway, we have doctors who help patients get medical marijuana permits. So if you have
think we got a call.
Chronic pain or nausea, AIDS, cancer, glaucoma, any of those things, you can call us. And the number is 1-800-723-0188. That's 1-800-723-0188. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Is it all right if I just make a couple of observations from my experience with the medical, the card and the Oregon NORML and everything?
Sure. Yes, go right ahead.
Okay, I've had my card since May, and I haven't really done much with it, and I finally got my crop my crop finally came in in late October, so I was finally able to be officially on medication, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I went down to the Oregon NORML meeting one Saturday morning and joined up there. And one thing I was disappointed about was that none of the speakers mentioned your show. I mentioned it to a couple of people around me, and they didn't know what I was talking about. They didn't even know there was a show on Friday nights. And I thought, my goodness, I watch this show every Friday. That's how I got the idea to go and get a card. I've got cancer, leukemia, GERD, all that. I got more things than I needed. I was a slam dunk to get a card.
Bummer. Sure.
But anyway,
grocery list.
I want you to get more. I love all the articles coming out in the Oregonian and the documentaries on TV. I'm just encouraging all of you in my prayers.
Thank you.
So I just want you to get the word out that you do have this show on Friday, so that everybody can appreciate it. And you'll get more people that way the more word you get out. That's all.
That's for sure. Well, we try to get the word out. We've been doing this for quite a while. I think the show 514 tonight.
Yep.
And so
I didn't even know about it. I didn't know about it until one day I happened to see it in the TV guide, and I said, Cannabis, Common Sense. I think I'll check that out.
all right. Well,
But nobody told me. I never saw anything advertised or anything. But that meeting I went to was great. It's at the Oregon Normal. It's fabulous, and I'm glad you got there. You're making so much progress. I love Madeline. Just tell people. Just tell them to tell people about it. That's all.
Okay. Well, we will. We keep trying to get the word out there.
Well, if we keep having friends like you listen and call in like that, that'll definitely happen.
Tell your friends.
I'm behind you 500%.
Thank you.
Thank you for your call.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
My pleasure.
It's always nice to hear that.
Yeah, that's true. You know, we are, in terms of cable access, a pretty popular show. I find it hard to believe that the people at the meeting didn't know. Maybe it was just one or two of the people that she was talking to. But
not everybody has cable.
Not everyone does. That's true. A lot of people do, but not everyone does. We have a film clip we're going to roll now, and we'll be back in just a minute, so I hope you enjoy this.
Fiber known to man, the best rope you'll ever hold. Well, the pioneers covered up the wagon trains with the canvas made of hemp. And Washington and Jefferson grew it on their farms, said to make the most of it. The first stars and stripes were sewn on hemp, the first Constitution too. It's around the world for food, fiber, oil, medicine, and fuel. But if we press its seeds, we won't have no need for any other oil. We can make paints and inks, run our car, we'll go back next season, it'll fix the soil. The most nutritious seed we can put in our mouth with omega-6 and 3. We can feed the world with the tree of life and live sustainably. But if we cut down all the trees, we won't have nowhere to breathe. Grow fields of hemp instead. We can make our paper, build a house from it. It's the goddess plant growing wild and free, living the way that we ought to be. Gonna leave my children a better world than my ancestors left me. Whoa, whoa. La, 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 la. Whoa. Well, the flowers of the female hemp plant make the best medicines on earth. Helps cancer and AIDS patients eat their food. Helps those with depression overcome the blues. Glaucoma, epilepsy, nausea, insomnia, stress, neurosis, psychosis, pain, PMS. All the studies have been done and all the doctors agree that they can't make money off this plant, you see, because it's free. It grows from the seed, wild and free, like we ought to be. You know, the future is growing in our own backyards. But if we cut down all the trees, we won't have nowhere to breathe. Grow fields of hemp instead. We can make our paper, build a house from it. It's a goddess plant growing wild and free, living the way that we ought to be. Gonna leave my children a better world than my ancestors left me. La 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 la. So in this modern day and age, when we seem to lack spirituality, this one single plant can bring us back almost 10,000 years in history. To the Shiva, Puranas, the Jesus, the Christ, the Buddha, the pagans, the goddess, the light. To commune with all the animals, commune with all the trees. To realize the goddess because inside me is the earth is a mother. We gotta take care of the earth. The earth is the mother that gives life birth. And we can heal our relations with a single green plant. We can start right now. But if we cut down all the trees, we won't have nowhere to breathe. Grow fields of hemp instead. We can make our paper, build a house from it. It's the goddess plant growing wild and free, living the way that we ought to be. Gonna leave my children a better world than my ancestors left me.
So that's Human and the Human Revolution.
Yes, indeed.
Singing their song, The Tree of Life, one of my favorite songs. And we've had Human at our Hempstock Festival the past couple of years.
Yes.
And he was at the Million Marijuana March last May here in Portland. And I know he's been a hemp activist for a number of years, going back to his roots in Ohio. He was at National Normal Conference's benefit, not this year, but last year. So we have another caller, though. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
How's it going? How's your holidays been?
Good.
Very good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing pretty good myself. I just in the process of getting my medical card.
Great.
I was actually calling about the Oregon Cannabis Tax Act and wondering what I could do to help out with getting signatures, or what I could do just in general to help the cause.
You know, we'll have more and more news about that in the coming weeks. We've just turned in enough signatures to get the ballot title issued. We've hired a company, Democracy Resources, to take over the petition drive. They're going to be coordinating both the volunteer and the paid petition campaign. So if you're interested in being a paid petitioner, they're the ones to contact. You can find their website at democracyresources.com. And they're a local Oregon-based company and a long-time activist in petition and direct democracy politics, Ted Blazak. They're the only unionized petition company in the country.
Okay.
So they're pretty reputable, and they'll be handling some of the fundraising campaign as well. You know, one thing that we should tell people is that here in Oregon, there is a thing where you can basically give a free $50 contribution to any Oregon political committee. It's called the Oregon Political Tax Credit. And as long as you file your Oregon income tax, you just note that you made a $50 per person contribution or $100 for married couples filing jointly, then the state of Oregon will give you up to $50 back in whole. So, for instance, we had a fellow come in and give us a $50 donation, and then come for our Oregon Cannabis Tax Act petition drive, and then come the time when they file taxes next April or so, they'll get that money back 100%. So that's one thing to consider, is tell people they can make as long as they file Oregon income tax, a $50 contribution and get that money back 100%. That's one way to help.
Also, I wanted to ask you about my brother was actually just down at the cafe. He said it was actually a really good spot, really nice people there. And also, I was wondering, since my dad and my brothers both have their medical card, and I'm in the process of getting mine right now, as far as like migraines go and stuff like that, do I have to have like repeated cases of going to the hospital, or just like my medical records of when I've gone throughout my life so far?
You know, your medical records of when you've gone throughout your life, as long as some of them are fairly recent, less than 3 years old, then our doctors can help you. Or, you know, you can ask your own doctor as well and see if they're interested in helping you get that permit. But if your doctor won't do it and you've got documentation of migraines, what was that?
I have good insurance, so if
yeah, so you might be able to get your doctor to do it. You might want to go ask them, and you can get that paperwork off the internet for free.
As far as the Oregon Medical Marijuana Act, or the just the normal type stuff, or what?
Well, they're gonna, there's the Oregon Medical Marijuana Program
on the internet.
Yeah, you just search for that, and it'll pop right up on the Oregon website, and you can print those forms out. Or you can call them, and they'll mail you the forms. Or you can go into their office or our office and pick those forms up.
Down over on, like, their 20th, or what is it?
Yeah, our office is at 18th, just off Burnside at 105 Southeast 18th Avenue.
Yeah, I've been there before with my brother, actually.
Yeah, so we have the forms there that you can take to your doctor, or if you your doctor won't do it and you have the right records, then our doctor can help you do that. Or you can also pick up the forms at the state office, which is over near the Lloyd Center Mall in the building with the frame of a dome on top, the Oregon building at 800 Northeast Oregon Street. You go up to the second floor, and they have all those right up at the front, next to where you get your birth certificate.
Unions and stuff, too, and apprenticeships.
Yeah.
I've been there also.
Yep.
There's one more thing. I also wanted to ask you, with my doctor, as far as asking him, are you saying ask him if he could prescribe me medical marijuana instead of the pills that I'm on now for it?
Exactly. You just show them the permit, the paperwork, and they just have to fill out that attending physician statement. And then you turn that in, and then they'll get a letter just verifying that they actually signed that sometime in a month or 2 or 3 months down the road. They have to verify that they did sign that form via the mail to the health department, and then the state issues the permit.
Okay, so basically the reason you guys have doctors is because some are anti-marijuana.
Exactly.
And
some doctors don't know anything about medical marijuana, so we specialize in that, so we can teach patients alternative means of consumption, such as vaporization or foods and tinctures and capsules. Can teach patients about local resources they can get involved that most doctors are unaware of.
Yeah, luckily I have a brother that's really into all that stuff, but the main thing is I wanted to get involved with the whole tax act to
Great. Well, we can certainly
get
use
us
your help.
free again.
We're anxious to try to end adult marijuana prohibition, make it where patients don't have to come in every year to recertify that they have a chronic condition, and just make it where anybody can grow their own without any license or fee. And so that's one of the things the Oregon Cannabis Tax Act will do. It would also allow people to grow it and sell it through state stores with licenses akin to, a winery might have, or a brew pub or something like that.
Or a cannabis cafe.
Or a cannabis cafe.
Definitely. Well, sounds good. Thanks for the information, guys. You guys are doing a wonderful thing.
I appreciate your support. Thanks for your call.
Hey, man, if you get involved, you'll be doing a wonderful thing, too. So you keep those positive thoughts, because we will need your help.
All right, thanks. Have a good night.
You bet.
Yes, it takes a lot of people to put an initiative on the ballot and to win, and a lot of education, and we're sure hoping that we can pull it off here next year.
You guys, in that conversation, you both made a good point. And I remember when we first began 11 years ago nearly now, it was just 1 or 2 doctors who were willing to really do that. You know, put their asses on the line and get their noses chopped off in the process. But now there's how many doctors in the state of Oregon who are willing to?
I think over 3,000 doctors have recommended medical marijuana, and there's a total of 8,500 doctors. So about 40% of all the doctors in Oregon have recommended medical marijuana to at least one patient.
Now, that's a significant change in 11 years' time.
It's a huge change.
Yeah, it really is. So the education process is, I guess that was the point I picked out of that conversation between you two, is that there is a process of education. It does take time, but it does work. And it works at the highest level. It's just a matter of getting the right information out and, being consistent with that.
We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hi. Yes,
Howdy.
Education is number one, man.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks.
I was pleasantly surprised to see the news, corporate news, and also Democracy Now! Had Madeline Martinez on.
Yes, I heard about that.
And I saw it. And I was wondering if you guys knew, were they filming that at the Baghdad Theater? Did they set up their little studio in there? Or
No, it's over at the Village Ballroom at 700 Northeast Deacom. So it's far northeast Portland.
Where Amy Goodman was when they were filming her here in Portland?
No, I don't think it's the same place as that. This is a small...
is it east of MLK?
Yeah, about
Is it
3
on
blocks
the
east
right
of
side or
MLK,
left side traveling east?
north of Rosa Parks, almost all the way out to Lombard, but not quite that far.
Oh, so it's like on a side street between Deacom and Lombard?
Nope, it's on Deacom.
It's right on Deacom. It's 700 Northeast
Right before
Deacom.
that big park.
Yeah, it says
Yes,
Village
right
Ballroom on it. It's a brown building. It's right across the street from an old closed-down fire department that's been turned into a pizzeria, I believe.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check. Oh, the other question. On Democracy Now!, they were showing, curd jars filled with hemp.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, if they can't do it for consideration, is that for people with cards and they just...
Yes. The way it
give you a
works
little
is
bit and
you
don't
go
have
up there and tell them they've got a whole bunch of different kinds and tell them which one you want to try next, and you get a little
sample? Is
Two,
that like a wine tasting?
about a fifth to a third of a gram sample at a time. And so you can either vaporize it. They have vaporizers there that are right on the bar, or you can go smoke it in another section in the Cannabis
free?
Cafe.
Is there a door charge, or do you just have to have a card? And
It's a $5 door charge, and there's a couple of different membership charges as well.
All right. Hey, and I'm glad they're starting to talk about this stuff on Main
Me
Street
too.
News.
There's just an enormous breakthrough here. I mean, the Cannabis Cafe alone made it on David Letterman and the BBC and just tons of different things.
London Times. It was amazing. Moscow.
Anyway, thanks a lot, guys.
Paris.
Thank you.
New Delhi.
Thanks for your call. If you have a question for us tonight and you're watching on the 27th of November, you can call us at 503-288-4448. We do have a question from a studio audience member.
All right.
Hello, studio audience member.
Yes.
Hi, Paul.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
We can.
Hi. I had a question about Oregon's Industrial Hemp Act that was passed in August 2009.
Yes.
What can I do to support industrial hemp in Oregon?
That's a good question. You know, right now, I know they require a federal license to be able to grow industrial hemp. And so, you know, the best thing you can do is just to purchase hemp products. The more hemp products that we're all producing and purchasing, the bigger the demand is economically for those. And so purchasing hemp products is one big step. You can get them every place nowadays, food items at Fred Meyer's and most health food stores, and that's one way. Then our Oregon Cannabis Tax Act would not only set up industrial hemp to be grown without a federal license, it would also devote 2% of the proceeds from the sale of marijuana to adults to restoring industrial hemp for biodiesel and for food, fiber, and clothing.
Now, you're talking about the bill that was passed in the legislature that the governor signed?
The governor signed one. Now, I was talking about another bill. I was talking about our OCTA petition, too.
I know.
There was definitely a bill that passed through the legislature. Oregon became the 5th state to allow industrial hemp cultivation. However,
to
none of the
legislate
states,
the legality of it, but we can't do it.
States have said that it can be done legally, but now it's dependent on a federal license.
Right.
And how would I receive that license?
The Drug Enforcement Administration is the agency that issues the industrial hemp
So
license.
you've got to call the DEA and ask them if you can get a license to grow industrial hemp?
Well, you've got to apply. And I remember about 10 years ago, you know, they turned down every application, and the fee was only $50 to apply. Then they increased the fee about 9 years ago to $800. So now if you want to apply to grow hemp and be turned down, it costs $800.
Well, they're doing it in Montana, and hopefully, you know, we'll be doing it in Oregon soon enough.
Yeah, we'll see.
Right.
I don't
Thanks,
think
Paul.
the DA's licensed that yet, but I know they're trying. We have another caller on the telephone. Hello, caller. You're on the show. Hello.
Yeah, what do you need to get a license?
A medical marijuana license?
Yeah.
You need to have a condition that's qualified by the state. The largest category of people are people with a chronic pain condition, also with chronic spasms like multiple sclerosis or asthma or Tourette's syndrome, a seizure disability like epilepsy, cancer, AIDS, glaucoma, nausea, chronic nausea. Any of those things qualify for medical marijuana. As long as you have one of those conditions and a doctor who's willing to sign your attending physician statement and a fee to pay the state, then you can get a medical marijuana card.
All right, now what if I have documentations that I have Hep C?
Then you can either go to your doctor, or we have doctors who can help you if your doctor won't, and just ask them if they'll sign this medical marijuana permit. If your doctor won't sign it, or you don't want to have the application for medical marijuana in your permanent medical records, then you can go to one of the medical marijuana specialists out there, and they can help you get a permit. If you have hepatitis C, then that is one of the qualifying conditions. In Oregon, in Washington, it's just included in the list of conditions. In Oregon, it's contingent upon the chronic pain and nausea associated with hepatitis C.
Okay, now what if I brought my paperwork to your doctor?
Then our doctor would sign that. That's what we do.
Oh, okay.
So if you need help and you've got valid medical documentation that you have one of those qualifying conditions, our doctors can help. We've helped, over the years, 30,000 Oregonians, and we have about 15,000 Oregonians that we help currently. So about half of the patients in the state see our 5 doctors. The other half see the other 3,000 doctors that help everybody else.
And how much does it cost to see your doctor?
You know, we're on cable TV, and we're not supposed to pitch things commercially, but I can say that we have a sliding scale fee, and so if you're low income, that's taken into account, and the fee is lowered dramatically for people who are low income.
All right, you answered all my questions. Thank you.
Cool. You're welcome. If you want to call and talk to our doctors, if you're outside the Portland area, you want to call that toll-free number, 1-800-723-0188. That's 1-800-723-0188. If you're inside the Portland area, you can call our physician referral line at 503-235-4606. That's 503-235-4606. You can also call that number if you're interested in getting involved in the Oregon Cannabis Tax Act campaign to end adult marijuana prohibition and restore industrial hemp. So give us a call at 503-235-4606. And we have another caller. Hello, caller.
Yeah, hi. I was just curious how medical marijuana helps exactly with asthma.
It is an antispastic drug, and so what it does is asthma is a spastic condition that's set off by exposure to some products or sometimes an emotional situation, and so it will just relax the muscles and stop the muscle spasms. And so that's how it helps. In fact, I collect antique medical marijuana containers and bottles, and it's been used for asthma for thousands of years.
I'm an asthmatic myself, and have been my whole life. I use it not only for that, but it's a great bronchodilator and an expectorant, one of the best. And so those things are very valuable to me and necessary for me to make it through each day.
It doesn't just dilate the bronchial passageways, it also dilates the arteries and the veins, and therefore opens up your cardiovascular system to greater blood flow, and that's always helpful in muscle spasm conditions as well.
It's like the ad man said, but wait, there's more.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the way it works for me.
Yeah, yeah.
So I hope that helps answer your question.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and you guys have a very high night.
Thanks. That'd be nice. Wow, I haven't had one of those in a while.
And then a very high night?
Well, you know, it's one you smoke on a regular basis, or you
don't get as...
you lose that quality of it.
But I'll tell you, trying different kinds can overcome that. So,
I'm willing to find out.
There is this Oregon Normal meeting coming up, and it's right there on your screen. It happens at the Village Ballroom at 700 Northeast Deacon Street, the second and fourth Saturday of each month.
Isn't there some award things coming up too?
There is. We should talk about that. Yeah. Coming up on December 12th at the convention, not in the convention center, but right next door to the convention center.
It was the Ambridge, but
it was the Ambridge Convention Center. Now I forget what it's called, but it's right there next to the convention center on MLK, and it's coming up on Saturday, the 12th of December.
I think Denny Danko's going to be there from
High Times Cultivation expert's going to be giving a class that I think costs some money to get into to learn how to cultivate from him. And then there's going to be a free holiday shopping bazaar that's open to the public from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. And then a banquets award dinner, which costs a little bit of money, and that's going to be from 6 o'clock till 10 p.m. or
Which
so.
you intend to win again?
Well, you know, I entered twice. I entered 2 entries. Last year I put in 4, and we won top 4 spots.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll do that this year. I didn't think we'd do it last year, for that matter, either. But we'll see what happens. I've entered 2 strains, and the guy who I got the strain from last year, I've got him to enter too. So I've seen him win some awards in other places. So there's some better competition.
Yeah.
I've been recruiting some tougher competition. It's too late now this year, but you can get ready for next year. If you haven't entered this year's Oregon Medical Cannabis Awards. Get your strains ready for next year because it's coming up pretty quick.
And they've been doing this a while. This isn't the first time in years have they been doing this.
Yeah, I think this is the 7th.
Yeah.
The 7th.
Yeah.
Or it might be the 8th. I'm not, something like that.
I think you're right. I think it is the 7th.
Yeah. Well, we are just clicking down to just a few minutes left. I'm not sure whether we can take any more phone calls. You know, you're going to be playing music in just a moment. Is there anything you want to say before you get over there with your guitar?
Well, I'm just really grateful. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It's been a good run on the show. We've been doing this for a long time. Yeah.
We have.
It's always good to be here. So I missed last week and I missed all my friends. And I got a lot of folks let me know they miss me too. It's always nice to be here.
Well, I'm glad your jaw's doing better, but once they operate on those things, you got to take some time off.
You have to deal with it. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Well, if you are out there and you want to get involved in the movement to end adult marijuana prohibition, or you're looking for a doctor who can help you get a medical marijuana permit, you can call our office. Here in the Portland area, that number is 1-800. Well, toll-free across the country. It's 1-800-723-0188. We have offices in Michigan and Colorado, Montana, Hawaii, Seattle, and California, Las Vegas, and just all over. And we're in 40 different cities in 9 different states, and coming soon to Albuquerque, New Mexico. So give us a call at that toll-free number, 1-800-723-0188. Or if you're in the Portland area, you can call us locally at 503-235-4606. I want to thank you for watching. We'll be back here next week for another show. We're going to go out on the music of Mr. Tim Pate. Remember, we don't want any more legal lies. It's time to legalize. Help us restore hemp. Good night.